Hi, I'm Zach from Corexcell. What we're going to talk to you today about is how heavy should you lift in order to get results in speed, vertical, and just how to do it safely so that you can get your max levels up to reach your full athletic potential. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a chart here, and I'm going to show you the general system that we use in order to maximize strength levels for our athletes and have them reach their top speed and also get to their vertical jump game. And then after that, we're going to talk in depth about how to lift heavy and when and where to lift heavy. So let's go into the chart now.
You just go up, you got it, don't even think about up. Oh yeah.
So these are all the 5 factors here that I use with my athletes in order to get them to the right speed and strength levels. So my first goal with all my athletes, is to get them to 2 times their body weight. So let's say the athlete weighs 200 pounds, The first goal is to get them to a 400-pound squat or deadlift. And if they weigh 200 pounds and you multiply 2.25 times their body weight, that means that they're going to squat and deadlift around 450 with a 1 rep max. So this is the initial goal. And to me, this is the sweet spot here, the 2.25 times. And if you stay in these ranges, 77 to 82%, 4 times 4 to 6 reps with squat and deadlift, you can safely get them up to this level and get them fast, strong, and jump higher. But to get them up to this point here, generally it takes me about 2 years, and they come 4 or 5 months per year, and they're sophomores or juniors in high school. And if an athlete comes to me, let's just say with a 7.3, let's just talk baseball, If let's say they come to me and they're trying to run a 60-yard dash, they come with me with a 7.3 or a 7.5 60, They're pretty slow, and we get them up to this point along with all these other factors down here. In that 2-year time frame, at the end of 2 years, if I get them up to this, generally what I can do is get them to run between a 6.6 60 to a 6.7. And I've done that with over 50 clients of mine over the last 10, 15 years. This is something I can do consistently, and I'm staying with these percentages. I'm barely lifting over here 85 to 90% of their max. You will not get an athlete up to 2.5 to 3 times their body weight just doing 77 to 82%. I don't even care if I can get an athlete up to this level. This is the level that I want to get. This is the sweet spot. But I'm still going to tell you how you can do it if you want to go that route. Because some athletes, I will tell you that, does this benefit some sports and some athletes trying to hit these numbers? Yeah, it gives them a confidence. I don't want to say it gives them a speed advantage, but it definitely gives them a confidence, like a football player, like a fullback or a running back. This will give them confidence or even a wrestler, to rail into people, to be aggressive, and to feel like they're stronger than their opponents. And it also has a bigger impact on injury potential, and we're going to get into all that. The next thing is correcting small muscle weaknesses in the hips, core, and shoulder. If you have weaknesses in your hips and your core and you're trying to run fast, your gait's going to be off, you're not going to get as fast, and your potential for injury is going to increase, especially as you start trying to hit higher ranges here with your lifting, and especially if you're hitting these ranges up here. And so what we have a program is called Corexcell. It's 12 foundation exercises to fix your entire body. And we have an app, and we have a link in the details of the video here. And it's part of all our sports training programs. And there's certain levels that you have to achieve on that, and there's certain tests, and we have all that in the app. 4 and 5 here on the sheet, we're going to address at the end when I show you program design for heavy lifting. Right now, we're going to go into heavy lifting. When we're first talking about heavy lifting, I want to talk about high-level sprint athletes that are ranked top 10 in the world in the 100 meter. Everyone thinks that these athletes can squat 2.5 to 3 times their body weight because they go online and they see them with 600 pounds on their back and they weigh 190 pounds, But what you have to understand is that when you see them with that weight, notice that they're only going down like a quarter of the way or halfway down onto a box. They're not doing a full squat like we do in our system or like powerlifters do, where they go down to a 90-degree level. They're only going down a quarter or halfway down. So in other words, if I have an athlete that gets to 2.25 times their body weight, okay? They can squat 450 pounds on their back, 1 rep max. If I have them go down just a quarter of the way or halfway down, I guarantee I can load close to 600 pounds and have them do like 2 or 3 reps. Okay, an example is Asafa Powell. Okay, that's a pretty popular video online, and you see him squatting. He's only going down a quarter of the way, and he's got about 600 pounds on his back. Okay, but I guarantee you go to 90 degrees, guess what? He's at about 2.25 times his body weight. Now, I've tried every single heavy lifting method, and we've had a lot of really great connections, okay, to people like Louis Simmons, Charles Poliquin, and also Cal Dietz, okay? And we've implemented those systems into our program here, and basically what I can tell you is every time I've implemented it into here and we've followed those methods to a T, everybody at some point wound up getting hurt. And I didn't see like crazy speed gains or crazy vertical jump gains. All I really saw was wow, that person's really lifting heavy. That's pretty cool. That's going to help their confidence. But I didn't see that much gain in their speed or in their jumping to justify the fact that they were end up getting hurt. Football players, they're pounding all year long on the field. They're nailing each other. Wrestlers, they're nailing each other. Then you're going to come into the weight room after they've been killing themselves on the field, and then you're going to lift heavy again, and you're going to just break them down even more. It makes no sense to me. And that's why I don't think it's justified to continuously do cycles at 85 to 90% of someone's max. I believe in just sprinkling it in here and there. If you have 4 months with them, maybe 1 or 2 weeks out of that 4-month cycle, I might hit 90% for 1 or 3 reps. That's it. But that's after I've really built them up, their body feels good, and then I'm going to hit that up just as a confidence builder and also to tap in into a little bit more fast twitch motor units. So now I'm going to go in, I'm going to show you how I structure a cycle in order to lift heavy without getting injured. So this here is a 4-week cycle, okay? And where it says squat right here, this is week 1. I mean, this is day 1 right here. And where it says speed squat right here, this is day 2, okay? And we do 3 weeks of work, and then the 4th week we deload, and we basically take the lifting almost completely out. If you notice, we just do a little bit less here, and we actually do speed squats here, okay? So what we do is in week 1, we only do 75%, okay? 4 sets of 6 to 8. Week 2, we do 80 and 85%, okay? 2 sets at 80 and 2 sets of 3 at 85%. Then the last week right here, this is where we have fun, and if you're squatting or you're deadlifting, this is where we do either 3 sets of 1 at 90%, or we just go and we just do a 1 rep max effort, okay? And then right here, this is 60%, 8 sets of 3. This is speed squats, and this is your deload like I talked about. If you're enjoying this video, we put a lot of time into this, so please like this video, and you can also subscribe to our channel. And also in the details of a video, if you want to learn about our 6 levels of sports training, so there's 6 levels that the athlete has to go through in order to maximize their speed, strength, vertical, and also to protect from injuries. Sprints and jumps. 200 yards, this is comprised of mainly 20s and 30s for most sports. Okay, you can also do 40s and 60s. And here with jumps, we do 30 to 40 contacts. So we can maintain a pretty good running volume here, okay, for the first 2 weeks. When we start lifting heavy, look what I do. I drop the running volume down to 120 yards, okay, I have 20s and 30s. And down here, the same thing on day 2, 120 yards. And then in the deload week, we go back to 200 yards, and there's just basically no lifting, and the jumps are very limited as well. Now we've done, there's a video link at the end, okay, and we've done an extensive video on how to basically adjust running volume, jumps, and lifting, okay, so you can look at that if you want to learn more about sprint volume, okay. So now let's look at day 2. So speed squats, okay, this is very important. This, we're converting the strength that we're doing up here, we're converting the strength into speed. If you want to see a video link on this, we also are going to put that at the end so you can learn more about speed squats. But if you notice, look, 50 to 55 and 60% of someone's max, we're moving the bar fast, we use chains and bands. I'm not going to go into it, you can look at that video there. And again, look, running volume's the same, and then we drop it off here on the 3rd week. So the main thing to take note here of, and why this is so effective, is because of these 2 weeks here. These 2 weeks right here allow the athlete to really recover after. This is still going to be tough. It's not going to be that much recovery, but doing that 1 rep max right here, it's going to take a lot of, it's going to be hard on the system. Now take a look here. What I did is I put a max effort here and I put a max effort here, or 90%. Look what I did to the running volume. I dropped it down to 120 for both these weeks here, okay? And look what I did. I put 10s in there, okay? So this is a possibility to do this. And we've done this before, but you cannot run high volume on this and you cannot run long distance on this, because now you're competing against the heavy lifting, okay? If you reach top speed and you're doing like 20s and 30s, okay, and you get to a faster speed level, this is when you start seeing pulls if you're lifting in these percentages here. So that's why if you're lifting heavy, running volume has to be way down. Jumps aren't going to matter as much. I put 30 contacts in here. You could do 30 or 40. But this is the most major factor here. And we've done this before. I just don't see that much more gains. And again, then my running volume's down. I want to get them fast, so I want to keep the running volume up. And like I said, the other disadvantage to this is that your body's only going to be able to handle this for like 1 month unless you're on steroids, okay? So we don't use trap bar much in our system, and if you notice that the high level athletes, the track sprinters, you don't see them really touch trap bar at all. You won't see them online. Look at the videos. It's hard to find them using trap bar. And the reason is because trap bar, because you can lift so much more than what you could squat and deadlift, and on top of that, you're holding it with your hands. That makes it the most neurologically taxing out of all the lifts. And what I've seen is when you go heavy with that, 1 rep max or 3 rep or even 5 rep max, or even if you're doing 85% and you're doing 4 sets of 3, I've seen how hard it is to recover from that lift. It takes sometimes 10 days for my athletes to come back and they just feel bogged down and they feel terrible. So that's why we stay away from trap bar, and we're either gonna stick with squat or regular deadlift, and that's what the top pros who really know what they're doing do as well.